the Torah using? Yoel? Okay.
Mazel tov, Shmulik. Mazel tov.
Simchas Bayu, Bezrat Hashem. Bezrat Hashem, yeah. Good reason to be Shabbos in Boca, Florida. Shabbos in Vochim, special Shabbos. We'll talk a little bit about Hakel because this series is not Hakel, and the Rebbe wants that people should get together, all year of Hakel. And the same way like it was in Beis HaMikdash. The reason was why people get to Beis HaMikdash together, B'neorecha, B'skanecha, Kulam. That even little babies come to Beis HaMikdash to listen to the Melech reading the Torah, to get Chizuk in Yiddishkeit. So the whole year is to get together in Yiddishkeit and get stronger and stronger. We start in the first pasuk. We're talking about Chai Yisro, and we says 100 shana, 20 shana, ב7 שנים, שני חיי Yisro. This is the life of Yisro. Usually the Parsha should be me'ain what you're reading. Chai Yisro is Mukfaker. You're talking about the life of Yisro, and we're talking right away what was the life of Yisro. 100 shana, 20 shana, ב7 שנים, שני חיי Yisro, and Vatam Yisro בקריאת ארבע. Basically, the Torah tells us that when you start being alive, when you see what a person did in this world is actually he did good or whatever it is, after 120, not when he is alive. When you see his children going to Derech Torah mitzvahs, when you see his grandchildren going to Derech Torah mitzvahs, so you know when he was alive, he was high Torah mitzvahs.
It was success.
Success in Torah mitzvahs. Give a bracha to each one of us to be zeichet to that kind of life, that when he fulfill his mission in this world, you see that his children and grandchildren continue going with the Derech Torah mitzvahs. Halavai, Klal Yisrael. And the first sikha, if we were looking in the Dvar Malchus this week, the first sikha they bring out on the first Rashi is by Sorrow. We said how life was complete by bringing godliness in the whole world. So it was special. You see, there was a candle lighting on a tent from Shabbos to Shabbos. That means the whole life was bringing Yiddishkeit to the world. So before in the day, somebody asked him, what's the topic of the shir? And we says that Avram Avinu see that Yitzchok, Hashem Baruch Avram Bakol, once he had a boy, you need to marry him to continue the generation with the Rebbe promised him that you're going to be Legoy Gadol. So you need to marry him, but Avram is old. So he take in his right hand. Who is his right hand? Eleazar. And he asked Eleazar to find a shidduch for his son. Before that, when Avram Avinu want to bury Sarah, what the Rosh Hashanah ותום אשר בקיר שר בחברון בארץ נעם ויבוא אברהם לספוד לסור לבכתו ויקם אברהם מעל פני פתאום וידבר בני חטא לאמור גר ותושב אנוכי עמכם. Right away Avram Avinu want to bury Sarah, and he told bnei chet that either I'm a ger is somebody that has no resident, or toshav, or I am toshav, citizen, and therefore I want to buy the kever. It's interesting to know that 3 people in the Torah will find out that they bought something and didn't want to take it for free. We live in a world that you go to a supermarket, as you walk in, what do you see? For sale, right? They know they have a chokhmah to put like few pallets either in the front, a big thing, and they put like big boxes, 50% off. We live in a world that always we want something for half a price, something for cheaper. Oh, it's a big sale over here. It's worth it to go to the store to buy. Once you went to the store to buy the thing in the sale, I'm here already, might as well I'll buy some other stuff. This is the chokhmah, how they get you to go into the store. By yourself, you're not going to go into the store. But because you look and the ad and it says that they have this item for sale and this item for sale, and you're there already, money is better to buy some other stuff. They know already that by giving you something for free or half a price, they're not going to make so much money. But with other stuff you're going to buy, it's going to cover it. So here, Avraham Avinu doesn't look for sale. He come to Ephron and he says, I want to buy the Me'arat HaMachpelah. And Ephron says, you're such a tzaddik, Avraham Avinu, such a schut for me, I'm giving it for free, right? By Ephron. שמונה אדוני נשיא אלוקים אתה בתוכנו מבחר קבורנו קבור את מתיך איש ממנו את קברו לא יחלם לך וקבור מתיך whatever you want free
It's all yours.
oh, it's all yours so nice but Avraham Avinu says no he said ויתנו לי את מרס המכפלה אשר לא בקצה הסדר בכסף מלא יתנו לי בתוכו לחז לקבר don't think I'm going to buy a whole big field no I want בקצה סדר, there's the me'ara and that's it. And Avraham Avinu was insist to buy that בכסף מלא, not half a price. It doesn't look for sale. And then what he told him, that 400 shekel, you do want to pay? No, I'm giving it for free, but you don't want to pay. You're like action. I'm gonna put the highest price is possible. What's the highest price? 400. And Avraham Avinu don't say no. I didn't mean it, so maybe give it to me half a price. So no. Avraham Avinu says that's what you want. He gave him what is it called? Over lasocher. He paid him with dollars. He didn't pay him with shekalim. He paid him with dollars. He paid him in money that all over the world you could use it. 400 shekel kesef. So why Avraham Avinu was such an action to dafka to pay for it? Another one by Yaakov Avinu. Also, we saw that he paid to buy something, and by David HaMelech. What is the story with David HaMelech? He wanted to count all he called his Sar Tzava, the army men, and he told them count all the Jewish people. So he told them, no, Jewish people you can't count. You're not supposed to count. David HaMelech wanted. He did. And then the Abishta says, well, you get a punishment for this. You could choose either it will be a starvation, or it's going to be a war, or it's going to be a Magefah. And David HaMelech choose what? He didn't want to choose Milchomo because some people will win, some people will lose. He didn't want to choose Rov because some people going to always have idea that the rich people has food in his house, so I might be able to get it. A Magefo is for everybody. Doesn't matter when it's a Magefo. Doesn't matter if you're male or female, boy or girl, old or rich or poor. Magefo is a Magefo. No? Just more so by Corona doesn't recognize anybody. The Magefo is more Islam. But David HaMelech bought the Har Moriah. What's Har Moriah is the Yerushalayim, and he paid full for it. Why? Because this is the place where it's going to be with Beis HaMikdash. This is the place where people are davening. So David HaMelech was action to Tafka to pay for it. So the same. Good evening. How are you? Hi. The same way that David HaMelech was action to buy Har Moriah, the place from Beis HaMikdash, and the same thing Avraham Avinu was action to buy Dafka Me'arat HaMachpelah. What is Me'arat HaMachpelah? What's so special about this place? We know that the Pesach from Gan Eden, people who want to daven, right? They go to Me'arat HaMachpelah and daven from there. Dafka, this is the gate to open the door to Gan Eden, to all the davening. Mm-hmm. And that's why he was action to buying it. In Chassidus, it says, there's Or Yosher and Or Choizer. Like the concept of Itron Or Mitoch HaChoshech. What does it mean, Itron Or Mitoch HaChoshech? If somebody has darkness, and he tries to bring light, and he has a small light, he appreciated so much the small light. Why? Because this small light bring now light to the room where he was sitting in darkness. But somebody who have over here a lot of light, and I'm going ahead and I'm adding another light bulb. You don't see the difference. You don't see it. Avraham Avinu, and the same thing was by David HaMelech and by Yaakov, when they want to buy something, it's like al derech itronu mitach hachoshech. They want to take something that I do something for it. For example, if somebody win a lottery, $1 million overnight, he appreciated his very besimcha right the first day or second days. After a couple of days, the simcha is not the same like in the beginning. But somebody who worked hard to make $1 million, it took him a couple of years. Which one has the more simcha? The guy that win the lottery and he doesn't have to work hard, or the guy that worked 10 years to make it and finally he got it? The one who worked very, very hard.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So Avraham Avinu says, for years and years and years to come, the Jewish people are going to come to Me'arat HaMachpelah to daven.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to get it for free, the davening is not going to be a davening. David HaMelech said the same thing. If I get Har Moriah for free, the davening is not going to be davening. And what actually was in Har Moriah? The Beis HaMikdash was built over there. The Kedusha, because of that, the Kedusha is stay in Har Moriah, and it's still today. We're not allowed to go in Kodesh Kadoshim in Yerushalayim, in certain places, because the Beis HaMikdash was there. We don't know exactly according to the measurement. We have a little doubt.
Right.
So we say certain days with the Sophet, we don't go there. But the Kedusha is there. Let's say Har Sinai, when Hashem gave the Torah in Har Sinai, Moshe Rabbeinu was told to tell the Jewish people, don't go to Har Sinai. It's going to be Gader. It's going to be a Mechitza. Tool here, you're allowed to come. And only you, Moshe, come up to the Har Sinai. There was a ceremony, certain time. The Eibishter came down to the mountain, give the Torah to Moshe Rabbeinu. This is going to be now, from now on, the most holy place in the world. Why? This is the first time that the Torah told us that Hashem came down to earth. Ruchnius and Gashmius met together. This is the most holy place. What happened? When the ceremony finished, anybody could go up to the Har Sinai. We don't know today exactly which one is Har Sinai.
It says the animals can go back on the mountain.
So what does it mean?
It shows you that it's
The Kedusha is not there.
The Kedusha went away.
Went away.
Yeah.
Masha'enken, the place with David HaMelech bought, we build the Beis HaMikdash. Shechina eina zazem mkoimo. Over there you can says, no, now used to Beis HaMikdash HaRishon, Beis HaMikdash HaSheni, now it's destroyed. Everybody could do what you want over there. You don't say it. You said the Kedusha is still there now. Why? It's called itronu mitach hachoshech. Somebody worked hard to buying it. David HaMelech wants that we should. Today we don't have korbanos. Today we can bring a korban. So how we get close to Hashem? Through the davening. The Eibishter says, in this world, what I want the most is halacha. People should learn the halacha, exactly what to do. When we learn the Gemara, Talmud Bavli, we have to know the halacha, right? So you see you have the Mishnah and the Brisa, back and forth, till you get to halacha l'maaseh. Came the Rambam and says, I see how people learning the Gemara, and you just don't know Shabbos, you're allowed to do this and not allowed to do this. It like told me down to earth. After all the people in a couple pages, I want to know exactly the halacha is.
Right.
So he went ahead and he did.
Well done.
Right? So the Eibishter says, what I want in this world after, halacha. To learning, when people are learning halacha. It says somebody is working a whole day, he doesn't have a chance to learn. So if you learn halacha in the morning, you learn halacha at night, it's like if you learn halacha the whole day. Okay.
כל השונה הלכות בכל יום,
נפתח לו.
נפתח לו שבין העולם הבא.
Right. In other words, when you learn something to bring down the Eibishter down to earth, the Poel Mamash, this is the Tachlis HaKavona. So even though by Har Sinai we got the Torah, Moshe Rabbeinu came down, but the real connection between Tachtonim and Elyonim doesn't click. But when you today, nowadays, we don't have a Beit Hamikdash. You take a siddur and down to the Eibishter, and you shefech the nefesh. You mamash crying with tefillah for somebody is a choile, or somebody needs a shidduch, or somebody needs a parnose, or somebody needs a shlom bayit, whatever it is. This is how you connect to the Eibishter the most. This is go back why Avraham Avinu said to Ephron Achiti, no, I'm going to pay you 400. I don't want anything for free. I want something that I did something for it. And the Kedusha should be there forever. And the Goyim, even the Goyim, don't says, oh, Me'arat HaMachpelah belongs to us. They don't say it, because they know. Avraham Avinu bought it kesef moleh.
But they're still giving us hard time.
Because they are going. Because they are going.
They want to be there also.
They want us, they say they want the Jewish people to go to the ocean, they should be in all of Islam. They have the whole world, no, they don't want this. Why? Because they feel, the Klippe feel that the Kedusha is so strong over there, they think they could conquer it. No. The Eibishter will be with us forever. But Avraham Avinu is the one that gives us the koyach to say that we have to do something from our own. We have to do something from our own in order to, the davening should be. And that's why today people are going there, especially like this year, the Shabbos. Hundreds of people going to Shabbos in Hebron. And
100,000 and 1,000.
30,000 people.
Well, that's what the previous,
30, 40,000.
Yeah.
Tens.
What do you say?
in tens.
Yeah.
Chaya Sarah, there's 30, 40,000 people.
I didn't know
there.
that.
Uman and Hebron compete for the most people
Yeah.
for one,
One shot.
One event.
for one time, for one event. But Meron, before 2 years ago, had 500,000 people. So the largest event of the Jewish people on a yearly basis is for someone who lived 2,000 years ago.
Uh-huh. All right, so we spoke to this point why Avraham Avinu dafka about Me'arat HaMachpelah. He wants us to daven because the Eibishter doesn't want something for free. The Eibishter wants us to walk with Yagia, and this is what Aloch is. Who says that it was in Bavel, and he knew the whole Talmud Bavli very well. Then he wanted to go to Eretz Yisrael, and he wanted to learn Talmud Yerushalmi. What's the difference between Talmud Bavli and Talmud Yerushalmi? Talmud Yerushalmi, the halacha over there is straight. There's no back and forth. It's like short. Exactly to the point. But we know today that when you have Talmud Yerushalmi say like this and Talmud Bavli say like this, halacha is like Talmud Bavli. Why? Because you need the Egia. You need to learn with the Egia. The same concept of Avraham Avinu said that, I need to buy that. You need to work hard. Right? It's difficult when you learn a blood more and you have questions, and you learn again and you still have questions, till finally, you understand the taste of what the test was asking or what the answer. You have another portion, you're enjoying it. But if somebody just, you listen it in a show, yeah, you're enjoying it, but it's not the same. The simcha, because you work hard and you find something.
Yeah.
So this is what Avraham Avinu want to teach us, that nothing is come easy. It is difficult, but don't think the difficult is a problem. The opposite. The difficult is the one that when you do finish, you'll have a simcha. And some people struggle with this all life. They're trying to do business. They try this, that doesn't work. They try this, doesn't work. Some other people, no matter what he touched, became gold. As a Muslim, doesn't work after work hard. He tried this business, success. And the other people, every week struggle. And you say, why? Why is that? Because it doesn't mean that you are Yukul, you're not this. The Eibishter wants you to do the Egir. So one is a small Egir and one is a hard Egir, but the Eibishter wants it. Why? Because he wants you to, when you get to the point, you have a simcha, you're going to enjoy it. So this was Avraham Avinu was giving us this. This is one part of the Parsha. Who was Eleazar that Avraham Avinu took him to work for him in his house as a slave, as a Eved? He was a regular guy that like a Spanish people that were staying in Coney Island, and they're waiting if somebody will pick him up. Just buy me a pizza and then I'll do for your work. I guess by Noach, right? we know that he had children that did bad to him, and he cursed one of the kids. Why? Because he wasn't doing what he's supposed to do. He didn't have epachatznius to Noach. He says, "Aur ata." Mom, she said the word is you curse. And this Eliezer coming from this family.
From Chum?
Now, when Avraham Avinu says that I need my son to marry certain person, in his head,
Daughter.
who? Eliezer. In his head, Eliezer now have to do something against himself. Eliezer grew up in Avraham Avinu house, and Sarah was there. They teach him what means to be a man. So he saw what a good life is, right? And he had a wife and he had children, and he had a daughter, and he says, I want my daughter to also build a house like that. This is a really life. This is a real nice life. You see how. So in his head, Eliezer, what are you thinking? I have to get my daughter to marry Yitzchak. So now, if I go to Avraham Avinu and says, Avraham, I have a daughter. You know that I have a daughter because I live in your house. And I do whatever you told me to do about Yiddishkeit, I'm going and doing it. He was right hand from Avraham Avinu. Whatever Avraham Avinu wants, he's there for him. When he went to the war against the Melochim, he's there with him. Now, in his brain, you have to do something against what he wants. Avraham Avinu sent him to find a shidduch for his. He have to do something against what he wants, because he's going to say to like we see in the davening, he says, "V'ulai lo te'oveh," like God, make sure that the girl doesn't want to go. So he had no choice but take my daughter, right? Nevertheless, he still davened to Hashem that when he came to the well and he says, you know what? I'm going to give you like a simon. What he says, if I'm going to tell the girl to give me water and she's going to give me water, I would know that this is the right one. But what in his deep machshove, what was in deep mind? I hope she's not going to give me water, because then I could feel what I want, not what Avraham Avinu wants. But no, he did what Avraham Avinu wants. And that's why we keep saying the Lashon over there, but the Torah is what? That Eved. He's saying story. The difference is, he's a little bit over graduate. He's saying more that Avraham Avinu told him what to do. For example, when he had the star that Avraham Avinu is going to give everything to Yitzchak, and Hashem v'achta b'kol b'kol, what do you say to the father? Oh, my boss Avraham Avinu, he has kesef, bezov, tzon, uvoko. He keep adding up a lot of stuff. Avraham Avinu, he didn't ask him to do it. He did it on his own. When he did it on his own, the Torah over there using the word ish, doesn't use anymore the word eved. So while you on the job from Avraham Avinu to do what you're supposed to do, you eved. When you use your own seichel to do what's supposed to be done at that moment, you're ish. You finish the job, you're going back to Avraham Avinu to bring the shidduch. You became back, I have it. So the Eibishter wants us in one hand to use our own brain to find out about the Eibishter. But at the same time, you should know you just have it. The Torah doesn't use the word Eliezer. The Torah wants you to know that constantly the job is to do what the Eibishter wants, not to what you want. Our feeling in this world always to do what's comfortable for me. What's comfortable for the Eibishter. It reminds me there was a snowstorm in Montreal. And also, like over here, they had a shiur, and then after that, Ma'ariv. But it was a really, really big snow. And one chassid was outside walking to the shiur. His friend see him and he says, "What you doing? Look, it's such a big snow. Nobody's coming to the shiur." So that's why I'm going to the shiur, because nobody coming. So at least somebody should come, right? When somebody else doesn't want to do it, I want to do it. The more than this. Eliezer Eved Avraham really don't want to do what Avraham told him. because he wants, we know that what is in his head, that is under that. But he put his mind on the side and he do what Avram told him to do it.
Do we know the name of the daughter?
What?
Do we know the name of the daughter? Not from the Chumash, from the Medrash.
From Eliezer?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Why, you have a...
No, I don't know.
Oh.
We have a
Maybe the
shidduch for
Medrash
him.
says.
Oh.
No, I think she's a little too old.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know what it's called.
The Loshan the Torah says, "V'emer elav ha'eved, ulai lo tov ha'ish alolech acharei." Okay, you give me a job to do, right? So he's, before I leaving, I just want to take instruction to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. So he says, what happens if she doesn't want? Can I bring your son back to Egypt? Avram Avinu says to his slave Eleazar, Ishomer lecha. Like God forbid, like you say it in English, God forbid, don't do these things. No way. השם אלוקי השמיים אשר לקחני מבית סבי ומארץ מולדתי ואשר דבר לי ואשר נשבע לי לאמור לזכות את הארץ הזאת, הוא ישלח מחול לפניך ולקח את האישה לבלי משם. אברהם אבינו so sure that when I send you to do something, the job will be complete. From here you learn shlichus. In other words, many times the Rebbe sends shluchim to do a school, to do a mikveh, to do a shul. You're coming to a place, you walk in the street, you ask people, there's any Jew around, not if you're a Jew, there's any Jew around. Finally, you find out that yes, there is Jew around. You get in contact with them. You bring him to shiur, you bring him to your house for Friday night, whatever. You start doing something.
Yeah.
And then, took you 2 years or 3 years, you have a shul, you have already a minyan, you have people who going to the mikveh, you have people who eating kosher. You feel like I did something. So what do you say all of a sudden? Now, after 3 years or 4 years, now I'm on my own. I'm not a shliach. Now I'm not anymore Eliezer Avram. Now I'm Eliezer. No. No matter how much you did in your place, always remember who sent you here. How was in the beginning? Always go to the beginning when you came. Who was there? What was there? Who sent you there? You constantly have it. You're constantly a shliach. And once you're a shliach forever. You don't become a rebbe all of a sudden because I did 10 moisdays or 10 schools or my city is like so many Jewish family keeping shop. No. The Torah doesn't use the word Eliezer. The whole week Parsha. Even though we keep mentioning again and again that Eliezer is doing all the job for Avram Avinu, but he's an Eved. Constantly remember.
Otherwise, now there'd be 5,000 Lubavitch Rebbe's around the world.
But the point is that
That's a very good point.
in one hand, you do want to have a 5,000 Rebbe around the world, right? Because the Rebbe sent them over there. That means he wants them to be there. But at the same time, to remember who sent you and what you're there for.
If everyone would be his own Rebbe, it would everyone would go their own direction. Having the Rebbe as the central figure keeps everyone focused on the goals of Lubavitch. Otherwise, everyone would do their own thing, I think.
That's the point, is that you never allowed to forget one day when you're in shlichus who sent you here and when you're here. You're not on your own. Somebody sent you here,
Yeah.
right? And then, if you're thinking about when he came to the well and he saw the girl, and he says, "Give me a little bit of water," and she gave him, and then she says, "I'm also going to give it to your camels." And she, and he said, "Oh, must be is the girl for Yitzchok." And right away he put money on her and says, "Can I come to your house?" And when you come to the house, if you're going to, and he says, in his cell, he told the father and mother, "I want to take this girl, but one way. She's never going to come back over here. I'm going to take her to the husband, I came today, I'm taking her to her husband, and she's never going to come back. What is supposed to say the parents of the
Sounds
No.
crazy.
go yourself? I'm not sending my daughter.
Yeah, normally you go to the gross house.
Not only that, who are you? You just came. You saw the girl. You just ask. You don't know who is the girl. You're asking for water. Right away, you put nezamim and
This
gold.
one didn't have a shidduch resume with him.
No,
Bring a
the
shidduch resume for
the resume was the
Eliezer was a resume.
no, but Eliezer had the start that Avram Avinu promised to Yitzchak everything. So he has the resume says this boy is very rich.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that Yitzchak is chashiv. It just means that the father has a lot of money.
But he's giving it the money to Yitzchak.
Yeah.
That's what says in the resume. Well, who is this? Who is this Yitzchak? Right? So all of a sudden, what happened over here? Is an Eved, they're doing his own mind. He's adding up stuff to the parents, not what Avram Avinu told him. Why? Because right now I don't do what I want to do, which is, we said before, that she should marry my son. that Yitzchak should marry my daughter. I'm doing now what Avram Avinu asking me to. So you have to use your own brain to do what the Mashiach sent you at that point. But at the same time, you have to remember who sent you and what you do for. So it's a little bit. I wouldn't say lying like a shotgun lying, but doesn't say the truth 100%. It's a difference between if I don't say the truth 100% or you're saying I'm a liar. The word in Hebrew shotgun is shin dalet chof nun. It's ראשי תיבות, שקר דובר, כסף נלקח. He's saying lying, but he takes money. שקר דובר, שינדר, כסף, money, חוף, כסף, נלקח. He take money, right? עד כדי כך, I heard once, if it's true or not, but it's possible, that he told the bocher, that you have a girl, this and this. Somebody else came and he says, I want this girl. And he see that this guy is more money from the first guy. So the Satran says to the first bocher, the family says it's not good for you. Don't go out. And he go to the second one and he says, you go out with this girl. Or why? Because he is going to make more shatchonos. Right. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Now you think about yourself, not about the couple married, right?
Yeah. I agree.
I had a shiur from Rabbi Pinto years ago, a shiur Pinto, about learning this about Shatchana.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked if you're allowed to lie when you tell someone, I know this girl, she's pretty, you're allowed to lie. So he said, shidduch without lying is not a shidduch. Shidduch without a lie, it's not a shidduch. You have to lie a little bit to have a shidduch.
Okay. After he did his job and they asked him to send back the girl, right? So he take the girl and go back to Avram Avinu to bring his merchandise, to bring the schera, to bring the color. But the Torah go ahead and tell us the story again. And the Lashon is Yafe Sichotan Shel Avos Miteroshon Shel Yisrael. A story in Torah over here, so many psukim. The Torah repeat the whole story again. In other words, the Torah want to teach us something, emphasize something, and the Eibishter has a know from that. Like this is kind of story the Eibishter enjoying it, and therefore so many psukim are repeating themselves the whole thing. What's the know for the Eibishter so much over there? They're repeating it the whole story again, and when you look, you see a lot of details different between the first story and the second story. How they repeat many things.
He came from
Yeah.
From the Messiah Eleazar.
Right. The Pasuk says, "Va'ish mishta'el adat, ha'etzliach Hashem darko imlov." He has a doubt if the Eibishter was bitem now with the shlichus or love? What does it mean? The Ebershter is bitem or love? And after the doubt, right away he said, the Torah says, "Vayikasher kilu agmal mishtot." Once she finished giving water to him and to his camel, ויקח האיש נזם זהב, בקע משקלו ושני הצילים על ידי 10 זהב משקלם. Right away he's giving her, like he's buying her with this. ותאמר בת מיד, תגידן לי האיש בית אביך מקום לנו. Right away he says, I want to go to your father's house to find out if your father was masking that you should come back to Avram Avinu to marry Yitzchak. And Hashem make a miracle, and there was masking. You could see sometimes you're walking on a shidduch, very, very hot, and the couples are going 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. You think it's ot, it's there, and you're like, oh Hashem, it's about to finish. And for some reason, something didn't click. But the fourth one or fifth one, whatever, didn't work out. So what? All the job he did till now, he went to Hevel Lorik, or is closer to another step for another shidduch.
Mm-hmm.
How you look at it? You're closer. Why you have to go to this chamber? You know, the one person in this week Parsha, he saw, he made a tnai with the Ebershter, chick-chack, and he walked. And some people have to go to 5 or 10 or 20, wherever it is. So hard. So I heard one savot, like I said before, iton haor min hachoshech. Person have to appreciate what he has. If you come to him easy, He appreciate it, but he doesn't like wow. But somebody who went shidduchim, for a long time, and he really did find shidduch, all of a sudden he forget the whole tzorah that he has, maybe 1 year or 5 years, how many years he's in shidduchim, and it didn't work out. Now that he got engaged or she got engaged, whatever they suffer to now, like they forgot, open a new page. Now they're going to build a binyan adar. The simcha is much more. In other words, the reason that they didn't get it till now, so when they do get it, they should be with simcha to fulfill.
I should give shidduchim to everyone.
Alavai. Each one has the.
Easy.
I mean, and after the shidduch also, you dive into the house should continue this.
Chai Sarah always turned us. Pam would give his famous Friday shoes and shidduchim Chai Sarah.
Yeah, a lot of people came.
Remember?
Yes.
Hundreds more.
A lot of people came.
All of it.
Because he came with
that story.
report. So he gave advice how to date and what to look in a shidduch and all that, all based on Chai Sarah. So all kind of bacham came. Remember?
You remember what Bluraitis he said?
Yeah, I think of it. Yeah, unfortunately, not as many years ago. I mean, remember?
I was.
I remember going. I remember any surrogates that they gave. Sorry, it was many years ago.
קשה זיווגו של אדם.
There is a concept of Shem Ma and Shem Ban. Shem Ma, Mem Hey, Shem Ban, Beis Nun. Yitzchak and Rivka is a combination to Mechaber Shem Ma and Shem Ban. To Mechaber Shem Ma and Shem Ban, you have to double it in the Torah. Say the whole story twice in the Torah with all the details. When the Rebbe Rashab was a Rebbe in Russia, one Chassid came to him, and he couldn't come in, so he asked permission to come inside, and they says the Rebbe is very busy. Finally, he did get permission to come inside, and he said the tzoros that he has. Okay. Expecting the Rebbe to tell him, I'll daven for you, or something like this. He said, I want to tell you something that I see that your tzoros is really bad tzoros. There's no help. I can't help you. I can't help you. Went outside, as a chosed, his last thing in his life is I go to the Rebbe and he'll give me a eitzah, or help me. And here, I'm in a wall that's it. I don't know what to do. So he cried and cried. The son saw a Yid crying, said to him, "Can I help you?" He said, "Forget it, it's a lost
The
case."
son of the Rabbi Rasha.
Yeah.
Spirit Rabbi.
Or maybe it was with the Rebbe Rashab, with his father. And he says, "Why are you crying so much?" He says, "I went to the Rebbe and I told him my tzoros, and he told me he can't help me." And he saw that he's crying from his soul, like, mamash, tearing coming. So he went to his father and says, "I did come to you for a favor." And he told him no. You should listen to him outside how he's crying, it's a disaster. He said, call him inside.
Call him back.
Call him back. Come back. And he said, told him what's your problem. And he said, go back home, do this and this.
Again, no, you
Yeah.
can't say again your problem.
Go back home, do this, whatever. And broches. Come outside, dancing, simcha, Here he's crying like, So the son came to the father and says, no, understand. He came to you and he told him I can't help him. He go outside, he start crying and crying. You call him back inside and then help him. So he said, I saw in Shomayim, he's not worthy to be helped. That's it. If you're going to do tshuva and he's davening from his heart, really to the Ebershter, not swimmer that the tzaddik will do the job for me, he's going to open a new vessel, a new pipe. And chef are going to come to him. But he need to do something. So he need to do something. He need to daven. This is the answer to us. Sometimes we have so much difficult in life. Each one, whatever it is. And you say to yourself, why? Why I have to go to this difficult? Why? Because the Ebershter wants you to give you the shefa. But only waiting for what? To do something to show that you're willing to accept it. By Eleazar, he could say, 1 second, Avraham Avinu send me to this. Everything he said, I have the best car, I have the best road, I'm set. No, he stopped and he says before the well, Ebershter, give me a simon. He's talking to Hashem. What he says to him? I'm going to tell the girl to give me water. If she's going to give me, then I know this is the right one. Then I do what I'm supposed to do. But he's davening. He's not saying, I'm set. Avraham Avinu send me. For sure, everything will go back. In other words, the Torah told us this story to teach us that the Ebershter do want us to daven. And slow. And slow. Mila b'mila. Say all the word. Yeah. But the Ebershter wants us. He enjoying it.
Rav Shadran, you remember, you heard of Rav Shadran from this Magid, Rav Shadran?
Yeah.
So he says he was once in the shul with Okapata Dadavan. He goes over to the Baal Tefillah. He goes, Abiyid. The guy says, I don't know what you're talking about. He was a brother-in-law to Shmuel Arbach, I think. They were brothers. Shlomo Zalman. He's a big market.
So, Bekitzer, the whole story with the Shidduch over here is to teach us that the Ebershter wants us to daven, and daven with Kavoneh. And once we do our part, you see how the Shidduch, right away, give the money, and they went to the house, and they says yes, and
But Rashi said that Eleazar wanted for his daughter. He told Abraham told him,
Ata
It's sad how he let him have it like that.
What is it? At over?
B'nei Cham.
What you doing? What you doing in my house all this time? He was his right hand. Everything.
He was a seven.
But
The guy also, right?
but Avraham
Why
Avinu tried.
gave him such a fire to get answer? Like you knocked him to smithereens. You're a cursed guy.
Another word. Am Yisrael is a special. Avraham saw and Yitzchak. This Avraham, Yitzchak and Sarah. This is the nation.
To say that you're Or,
That's a tough one.
that's a tough one. I don't understand, right?
He's doing everything in your house. He's
Like he's doing everything, yeah.
he can
Yeah,
much to you.
Chesed, Isha Chesed. He's going with Chesed. Here's you're Or. I didn't understand it.
Because when you come to Shidduch, in other words, to bring Shema and Shema, like he says,
You're Or.
not stand why not fun. Think about it. When Eleazar is going, he's doing something in his head the opposite what he wants. I was saying in the beginning of the show. In his head, when he was sending to Shlichus, he says, "How can I make sure?" He even said it in the Psukim. V'im lo tuva isha. What is davening at that moment? I want the women should says no. Then I could go back to Avraham Avinu and says, "Take my daughter." So I'm doing something against my will. Your question is why Avraham was so hard on him and says, "Oh."
I think the question is better than the answer, bro.
Maybe you say, you spent all this time in my house and you're still ultimately a Kanani. It didn't rub off. You weren't, you said he was Megayer, according to the.
Even if it was Megayer and this, but
If
you
he was
coming from a
Megayer,
place,
then-
you coming from a place that is oh and we are both.
I would say,
It doesn't go together.
I would say that
Was he Megayer or was he not Megayer?
the way I
What's
would
Megayer?
put
It's
it,
not Or anymore. He's a
yeah, I would put it that according to that Rashi, he wasn't Megayer, and he's saying that you spent all this time with me, and ultimately you're still a Kanani.
Right.
It didn't rub off on you because he says you're Aur, not that the Kanani Bechlal is Aur, but you're Aur, so that it didn't rub off. If he was Megayer, then he would, of course, he'd say, "I'll make your daughter my daughter-in-law." There'd be no question.
Question
It
is
sounds like he
better than the
wasn't Megayer.
Maybe Abraham wants him to
Question's
think.
better than the answer.
That's it. Don't ask anymore. If you would tell him, maybe, we meet guy, you are wrong. Don't think about it.
And there's no weird,
Take it off.
and the Yisr of after only after the midbar that Jews are told you can't marry the Kanani and the but here
Right.
there's no Yisr to marry a Kanani, but apparently maybe he wasn't Megayer.
The Shvatim, according to one shot, married Canaan, right?
Yeah,
The Shvatim,
And
or they married their sister.
yeah. But here Abram is concerned that he shouldn't marry Eleazar's daughter.
I think the question's better than the answer, bro.
Sometimes it is.
Maybe Abraham did not tell him, only Rashi bought it. What we said.
Yeah.
Ata Oro, what do you mean? So Rashi said what he said.
When he says "Ve'avo hayom el ayin," he says "Kafza li haderech." I had קפיצת הדרך. Why you need קפיצת הדרך? What's wrong if you walk 1 week? Why you have to do it in 1 day? What's so wrong if you wait 1 second?
Maybe Rivka will get snatched up. I mean, in general, you should do
For
from
Shidduch, you have to write away.
Shabbat, you can make a
Yeah.
shidduch.
What's that she took home in that case? She was still nursing?
Hey,
I never understood that shot in
bus 3.
He was only
When
three.
she was three, she was not nursing. What kind of a necklace is it? A nurse.
Hashem make a nest and the
But she wasn't going yet.
היפלא מהשם דבר,
Nursemaid.
What?
He maybe took care of her.
היפלא מהשם דבר.
Maybe
What Mava made a suit by Yitzchak? How old was it? How many months?
Rivka was going to
How many months by Yitzchak? Yigama was just
Young relative.
right.
שנתיים?
maybe she was just a babysitter.
How many months? Yigama was Yitzchak, and he made a big suda.
it was 8 days.
No.
All right, we'll get the post. We gotta go to the Chumash. Chumash will tell us.
I was going to say, if you look rationally,
No, but the metal spring is like a Shoshana ben Achuchim. When you have a flower between the tone, you take it out. Eved Avrom need to have a miracle, like Kfitzas Derech, because Rivka is going between all the goyim. Once he's a roy to marry, take it out right away.
give it
Don't
another-
wait. Don't wait another day.
I would give another idea now that we're raising that the longer it takes Eleazar to get there, the more time he has time to back out and say, since Abraham Lavina won't let Yitzchak marry my daughter, I'm going to turn around. If the trip is so quick, he doesn't have to, he has less time to back out.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it, sir. How could she still have this, mate? Come down, Flavish.
It says in Rashi.
Yeah.
I
She
said
was
2
nursing
years.
at 2 years old.
Say come down, Flavish.
What?
It's my
It was nursing.
Yeah, you're talking about, years ago.
Take a party.
That was by
Yes,
years
sir.
ago, right? I mean, we went to sit there, guy Shenim and Eber, all Tzaddik Adar, right? It's by years.
See if we get 3 more people.
Is it still pouring?
It's raining, if you're.
No one's going to melt.
I could melt, but
No one's
So
going
who
to
was
melt.
this Maggid? I don't understand this. Who was this Maggid? Since Dam and Noah Schita, Kmas Shloim Nishchat. Or Chulishmos and Mimeno Mesa. They so the Rebbe Ched used to say it was the Eitzahara, no? But he wanted to tell her that he wasn't shechted. So, but through him, she was not. She.
הפוסק says, ויאמרו, נקרא לנערה ונשאל את פיה. The parent says, we'll call the girl and we'll ask her, do you want to, so what Rashi says, מכאן, שאין משאים את האישה אלא מדייסה. You can't force the girl to marry somebody,
She has to be masculine.
she has to be masculine.
Mhm.
Rivka was 3 years old.
What you understand about you?
In Parsha tells us, when we're talking about Esau and Yaakov, we say over there, כל זמן שהיו קטנים, when they were kids, לא היו נקראים במעשיהם. ואין אדם מדקדק מה טבעם. כיוון שנשאו בנדגים לשונו, זה פירש לבית מדרש, יעקב אבינו is sitting and learning, וזה פירש לעבודת אלילים, and Esau going to where? To עבוד הזורע. משמע, the קטן and גדול has nothing to do with 13 or less. It's not the this. What is your nature? This one,
Sure, faster.
this one nature is like this and this one. And that's what Eliezer saw on Rivka and Maisim, the way she's acting, what she's going to be. So what this says? He said the word Isha, even though she was only 3-year-old, because it's not to do with 13-year-old or not, or 12-year-old by girls, it has to do with the Maisim. And because he saw the Maisim was already with Maisim, so he called her Isha. He gave her the name Isha. Even though she was only 3-year-old, but you're already from the Maisim what she's going to be.
She was 3 years old and she's opening the be'er and bringing water.
And
So,
have a
have
card
stuff on his shoulder.
and she was polite, Aloch Cohen. And she was polite, she gave him water, and not only that, she says, I'm going to give also water to the. I once heard a joke that the Bocher has a shadchan to give him a shidduch. He's in yeshiva for so long, and they said, not everybody wants you, they want somebody as parents as a couple dollars, they should be comfortable in life, and this. But I want to build a house, I'm sitting. So I said, fine, I'll find you something. But you sit alone, don't worry. Come to the day of Chasana, I'll let you know. And Thorsten came to the chuppah, and he saw the Kale is a little bit limp. So he's told the Chosen, it's really not nice, you fool me. She's a little bit limp. He said, don't worry, it's okay. Then he saw that the hand is like, one is big, one is small. So he's like, excuse me, but I see a second this. He said, you could say it loud because she's not going to hear you.
Oh, my. Wow.
Shidduchim, talking about Shidduchim.
Should have been here from the beginning.
Yeah, listen to it.
What we're missing? One?
One more.
Right, one
Who's gonna
more,
be
so
the
someone
second
who's
one?
nearby will be like, okay, it's not so bad, not three, it's one, I'll come.
I'm sure the psychologist.
You need one more.
Common sense, the way people think.
Mhm.
Like if I saw, at 9:40, need three more, I wouldn't come, but when he wrote at 9:28, need three more, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And now, but
Now we just need
9:25.
one more.
And now if I see it like 9:35, only one more as opposed to three more, I'm more likely to come. Right, continue. I should have been in the beginning of this.
When the Rebbe came with the mitzvah of lighting candles, mitzvah neshek. Neshek is nun shin kuf, near Shabbos Kodesh. But also neshek is in English.
Weapons.
Weapons.
If you want to fight the darkness on the wall, you don't take a stick and hit it in the darkness. You bring light. You bring light.
Oh, that's nice.
That's what send away this.
That's nice.
So once was nun shin kuf. Neshek is guns.
Weapon.
Hebrew, it's a weapon.
Oh, that's what it means?
Yeah.
In Hebrew, neshek
Yeah.
means a weapon.
Tidroch neshek. What means tidroch neshek?
And while it's also a Shetevus Ner Shabbos Kodesh.
Kodesh.
It's nice. I like it.
And if I bring it once, the Rebbe says that I got a very interesting letter. I'm asking the women from Far Chabad to go to different kindergarten and told the girls that about lighting candles. So this lady from Far Chabad go to play group in Tel Aviv and singing Shabbos song with a kid, told him what is Shabbos, and told him that it's a mitzvah for the mommy to light candles and also for the girls from 3 years old to light candles. The girl listened to it and she came back home. She told the mother, I learned today in the playgroup that it's a mitzvah to light Shabbos candles. Can you please light Shabbos candles? The mother says, oh, who teach you that? That was the old fanatic people. We have lights, we have television. We don't need these things. But the girl, she was going to the mother 1 week, 2 weeks. The mother, trying to push her. So the girl was smart and she went downstairs to the supermarket.
She bought.
And she bought a Yotzet light. No, she came to the guy and it says, I need to buy candles. Thinking, why a little girl need candles? Probably somebody in the family died. So the mother sent her to buy a Yotzet candle. So he gave her a Yotzet candle. Okay. Came Friday. The father and the mother are going to pub or I don't know what, a disco, I don't know what. And the babysitter with the girl. But the girl said to the babysitter, I learned that you need to light the candles. So she let her light the candles. Okay. She went to sleep. The parents come back home and say, who died? Why there's a Yotzet candle in the house? So the babysitter says, your little daughter crying that she want to light candles. She went to the store, she bought candles. The mother said, okay, next week I'll light the candles. Okay. What I'm telling you now, this is the letter what the Rebbe get, and the Rebbe said it in Fabrengen. So the next week, the mother took 2 candles and put it on the television on top and light it. And the little girl was so happy and dancing around it. Then the mother says, something is wrong. We're sitting here with Shabbos candle and the television is home. It doesn't go. In the television Shabbos candle, right? Yeah. So they decided next week, no television. Then they said, if we already do, might as well maybe put a white tablecloth on the table. And like this, every week that they light, the mother light and the little girl light, the Yiddishkeit gets stronger and stronger and stronger till the house became like, what do you say from here? A little light from a little girl, 3-year-old, changed the whole house. It wasn't happening in 1 week. It wasn't happening in 1 month. It took time. But finally, a little light sent away darkness. That's how you fight it. to teach us that sometime we did mitzvahs and it's a big deal. One mitzvah, I help somebody or this, who know or don't know. No, every little thing that you do, it's another light. You're adding up another candle, another light. This is what Sarah Imenu, the light was in the house the whole week.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what happened when she came back to the Avram Avinu said, hey,
He didn't send out.
you had somebody?
No, I didn't see it. Send.
You can't even stay outside and get somebody because it's raining.
So it might see somebody in the room. Wow. That was one of the three things that remained in the tent, no?
Yes,
The candles.
the
right?
candles. This is the Simen.
What was it? The candles and
The Anan. The Anan.
what cloud was there?
And the Chalev. The Chalev was fresh.
Yes. Oh, what's this Rosh Hashanah that also, I think, no? Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this.
What is it? You know what it is?
Hello. Chet Nun Hey. Chala Nida and Arakat Hanarot.
Oh, okay. So Ches is Kala, Muhammad is
Chet Nun Hey. Chana.
Nene. Oh,
Chana.
Chana. Oh. Chala Neris and
Adlakas Haneros.
Hay is Neris?
Nida. Nun is for Nida.
Okay.
Tars Mishpocha.
Those are the
Adlakas
three
Neris.
things that remain from Tzori Meir, right? Chana. Yeah, that's the text for one person. All right.